Good morning, everyone.
Hello, good morning.
We're almost at time to start. I think we're waiting on Councilmember Medina. Are there any other staff that we're still waiting on as well? Oh, I don't see Scott actually, and I know we're waiting on Scott.
Correct.
Okay. And Jessica. So we'll wait a minute until everybody hops on. There's Scott.
Hey there, Scott. Do you mind testing your video and audio for your presentation?
Sure thing. How's that sounding and looking?
Sounds great, and I can see you clear. Thank you
Perfect.
for that. Would you like
Thanks.
me to share your presentation for you?
That'd be great. Thank you.
No problem.
How's everyone doing this morning?
Happy Friday Eve. Doing well. How are you?
Right. Right. Happy Friday Eve. So definitely need to spend the next 2 days finishing up all the things for this week.
A good way to think about it, though. Friday Eve.
Right.
I said that to
Thursday,
someone.
It's just Wednesday, hump day,
Right.
Friday Eve, and then Friday.
I said that to someone this morning. I said Happy Friday Eve, and they said it'd be better without the Eve. I said, well, that's true, but it's better than Monday. We gotta
True.
take our little wins when we can, right?
Absolutely. I was like, I just can't believe it's already Thursday. I have so many things I still need to do this week. But that's how it goes. All right, so we're still waiting for Councilmember Medina and Jessica. I'm just gonna text Councilmember Medina real quick.
I did just receive an email from him. I'm going to be sending him the link again. I think there was a little glitch or something.
Okay, thank you so much, Andrew. Appreciate that.
My pleasure.
All right. I do know, just so folks know, as you're looking at the agenda, that during miscellaneous matters, we're going to have a little bit of a conversation about upcoming meeting, kind of scheduling and any items that council members or other folks want to see on the agenda for this year. So though that's not on the agenda, we'll talk about it during miscellaneous matters. And John, good morning, welcome. I'm sure Jessica will have an announcement during announcements.
Yes.
Good morning. I'm just getting my video correct here.
No worries, don't rush. We're also waiting on Councilmember Medina. He was having some issues with the link to join. And I see he has joined. So we'll go ahead and call to order. Good morning, Councilmember Medina. So we'll call the meeting of our Housing, Neighborhood Services, and Redevelopment Policy Committee for January 25th to order. This is our first meeting of the year, so thank you all so much for being a part of this committee. Welcome. We have Councilmember Medina as the vice chair of this committee, Councilmember Murillo as the third member of this committee, and I'm Alison Coombs, City Council Member at Large, and I am the chair of this committee for this year. So thank you all again. Excited about the work that we can do this year. And with that, we'll go ahead and start with the approval of the minutes from the November meeting from last year. So are there any changes, Councilmember Murillo?
No changes. I think the minutes are pretty straightforward. It was a short meeting, so no changes, and I approve as written.
All right, I also approve. And then Councilmember Medina, I'm trying to remember, you weren't, you were not on the committee last year. So with that, the minutes will stand approved. So thank you for that. And then now we'll go on to announcements.
Good morning, everyone. Jessica Prosser. I think just the only announcement is we only have one agenda item this morning, but would like to take a little bit of time with the committee to just go through some of the standard things we usually report out on at Horns throughout the year, and then get any thoughts and ideas from the committee members about topics or program updates or things they would like more information on, so that we can start to plan and slot those in throughout the year. So if you want to hang on for that portion, we'll do that at the end.
All right, thank you. And then I just want to say welcome to John Wesolowski, who is new joining this committee and is the deputy for Jessica in the Housing and Neighborhood or Housing and Community Services Department.
Thank you for the welcome. You've probably seen me before. I've been with the city for 16 years, so I was with Pros there for a while, and now I came over to, I don't want to say the good side. I don't want to say that, but you know, we'll see. So thanks, everybody. Good to be here.
And we appreciate having you here. You know, as we know, we approved that deputy position to help work on some of the operations side of the department with animal services, code, and I'm not remembering off the top of my head what the other departments are, but those I think are the really big pieces. So thank you again for coming over and joining us, and we look forward to working with you. All right, with that stated, we'll go ahead and move on to our one item, which is a neighborhood improvement grant update from Scott Campbell.
Excellent. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come out and talk about our 2024 neighborhood improvement grants. Thank you, Andrew, for sharing that. As I mentioned, here to give an update on those 2024 neighborhood improvement grants. We can go to the next slide, please. So just kind of a quick overview of the program. City Council is generous enough to approve us with $60,000 this year, which we dole out in up to $5,000 amounts per project. This comes from the general fund. The program was kind of designed to improve the appearance of Aurora neighborhoods while strengthening the social fabric and organizational networks of community residents. And it really focuses on those 5 goals that you see there, which to really just sum them up is kind of 2 things. One is kind of that beautification aspect, as we mentioned, but also that community building, both kind of internal to the community, but also with partner organizations like the city. We can go ahead and jump to the next slide then. So here's kind of the big updates that are coming. We are asking, as we do every year, we have 3 informational sessions kind of to start the grant cycle off. The first one was actually last night. We had a pretty good attendance and had a lot of great questions come in. Sounds like we're going to have some very fun projects this year from that first group. Our second informational session will be next Thursday, February 1st at noon. Hopefully just spreading the times out so that if people need to attend at lunch, they can do so. And then our final session will be the following Tuesday, February 6th at 6 p.m. again giving an evening opportunity for those that may need it. We are posting all of our links and information, pardon me, at that auroragov.org/neighborhood grants page. That includes the application, which all of that should be going up this week, hopefully today. After those informational sessions, we ask our participants to meet one-on-one with one of our community engagement coordinators, and that's to discuss their particular project ideas. And then at that point, we refer them out to various other staff, such as permitting or planning, just depending on what their project is looking to do. This year is the first year that we're going to be hosting our application with Neighborly. This is something that our YVP team has been using to great success, so we're super excited to be able to use that. Should hopefully make the experience quite a bit better for those applying, since they have a lot more options at hand now with that software. Like I said, we're going to have all that information up this week, including the application and all of the guidebooks and all that fun stuff. And then we're going to ask that everybody has that deadline of April 19th of this year to go ahead and submit their application. That's at 5 o'clock. And then all projects that are selected to receive funding should have all of their work completed and all their documentation turned in by October 31st of this year. Next slide. Here's just some highlights that we've had from previous years. So this was a cleanup project out of Northwest Aurora. This is a group that had been awarded a number of times in the past. They do a great job going through the alleyways, cleaning out the bulk trash there. We can go to the next slide. Again, just some highlights from last year. This was a great project where they redid some of their median ways with some more water-wise vegetation. So really great example of landscaping there. Next slide, please. This was the Shadow Creek community. They also did some great landscaping as well as installed some lighting around their community in the little green space that they have there. And then finally, the next slide is just a group that installed some message boards around the community to help with kind of bringing their community together and getting messaging out to their community members. With that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Okay, council members Medina and Murillo. Councilmember Medina first. Do you have any questions?
No, not for me. I think it's a good opportunity to connect with the community and do projects that they'd like to see. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Murillo.
No questions for me. I think this is a great program, so nothing bad to say, and excited that we can continue to invest in our neighborhoods and have some sort of community input in the process as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, and likewise, I've always been a strong supporter of this program. I guess my only question is, I know that over the last several years, we've had a tendency for the neighborhood groups to be somewhat more concentrated in like South Aurora compared to the rest of the city. And I know staff have put in efforts to ensure that it's a little more representative throughout the city. So I was just wondering kind of what the plans and approaches to make sure that we're getting that representation from neighborhoods throughout the city.
Great question. Yeah, a lot of what we try to push with that is through our marketing. We make sure that we get the information out to the town hall meetings as appropriate for the timing of it. We do a lot of the the advertising kind of across the board. We do try to reach out to groups and work with code when applicable, as far as them identifying some kind of issues that might be appropriate for the grant. So we do try to spread it out in that way. And looking at kind of the awards historically, yes, we've had, concentrations here and there on occasion, in any given year, but I don't believe there's been a year, at least in the last 5 that I'm aware of, where we haven't had at least one award in every ward. And we're happy with that. That's part of, we like seeing the projects, like you mentioned, kind of spread across the city. Want to make sure we can get those funds where they're kind of needed most. And to that end, we do try to work with, all of our grantees to kind of put together the best application possible to kind of increase their chances for getting awarded.
Absolutely. And I know you guys put in that work. I just am aware that my Ward 5 people are extremely proactive, have had a long history of being aware of these grants, and so often are kind of on it and getting to it. So we definitely appreciate as well you making sure that you're connecting with the groups throughout the city as well. So thank you. All right. Well, seeing no further questions, just thank you for the update, and we'll look forward to kind of approving the projects as they actually come forward and as you guys get through the process.
Thank you.
Okay, so with that stated, Jessica, do you want me to hand it over to you for miscellaneous matters to discuss the future meetings and
Yeah,
schedule?
that would be great. All right. Can you all see this sort of spreadsheet chart here? Okay, so thought maybe it would be helpful to just kind of run through what came to Horns last year, and then we can go through kind of what is sort of standing items, what we have planned so far for February, and then we'll take some notes here on anything else and follow up. So last year I kind of highlighted the things in yellow that come back every year. We talk about neighborhood grants. They come at the beginning, they come in the middle for who we're approving, they come at the end of the year for sort of what's been done. The community investment financing rounds, we typically have 2 of those. That's where we're incentivizing affordable housing units and projects. Those are in yellow. We do a spring round and then a summer fall round as well. So you'll see those there. We've traditionally done a flex fund update or sort of a homelessness funding update. What's not on here is also a housing authority update, which is usually done around September. We typically do a housing strategy update at the end of the year. We did not this year, but we have it slated for the February meeting. That usually happens at the end of the year as well. Other things that happened last year that we see continuing is our parcels. So this is the land banking proposals, wherein we'll bring forward, a piece of property that we are intending to put out an RFP for and then come back with recommendations. So we brought that forward in November. We are actually interviewing developers today, so that will be coming back for the property out on Colfax and about Laredo. So that'll be coming back. We have a few other pieces of city-owned land, so those will be coming back. Updates around youth violence prevention, those also become updates at the Public Safety Committee, but we've also brought them here. Those would intend to come back. Obviously, several things related to operations of the homeless navigation campus will be coming through this committee. So those are some of the things that we anticipate coming already this year that are either standing items we have every year or some of the projects. I'm sure I'm forgetting some that will just kind of be routine things, but I guess that was about all I wanted to go over. I want to hear from you all so that we can certainly add things in throughout the year, but if there's things that you want us to bring forward, we can start to sort of nest those in and plan our time. And as we've sort of switched our study session methodology as well, making sure that we're using the committees robustly and in whatever way that you all want to. So I'll stop there.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Definitely appreciate just those updates. Some of those, land banking, as you know, is something I always want to make sure we're following up on. So then council members Medina and Murillo. Councilmember Medina, do you have any items that you would like us to add to the agenda?
No, I think to your point too is just to make sure that we're getting more information as far as a citywide around affordable housing, how, what kind of percentages and, how are we, I guess, tackling that situation.
For sure. Councilmember Murillo?
Yeah, agreed with both of your contributions. As far as the land banking is concerned, Jessica, you probably saw the email that I forwarded to you around the mobile home parks, and maybe potentially opportunities to incorporate, that naturally occurring source of affordable housing into our land banking strategy. Since we know that there is a potential for some pretty impactful and negatively impactful destruction if those get sold, and we think we only have 10 left. Anyways, if we could incorporate that potentially into that conversation, happy to work with you, Jessica, on that moving forward.
Excellent. And then for me, a couple of additional things would be just kind of having some ongoing conversations about code enforcement and kind of limitations that they're facing with respect to addressing habitability issues. in the city. And of course, happy to have some conversations in preparation for that with Jessica and John. But they're just, I think we're aware that there are some major issues that have been brought forward by the community around habitability and difficulty kind of with code enforcement being able to effectively address those issues. And then in terms of the homelessness kind of plan, we have the navigation campus, but we haven't planned around like what is going to be the family emergency sheltering plan for the city. Like, are we just going to rely on the nonprofits to do it without city support? Are we going to be counting on the counties to provide that support? So just kind of getting an understanding of what really is the plan for families. Let's see, so code, families, we already have land banking. So I think that's it for now. I'm sure some additional things will likely come up over time, but I think those are really the big ones.
Okay. Great. That's super helpful. I think most of this is on our radar, and Councilmember Coombs, just for awareness, the plan for families experiencing homelessness is definitely a top of mind topic with the Aurora at Home group as well. So it's not been forgotten, and is part of that strategy and plan, and something that is an ongoing conversation with that group. So yeah. Okay. Well, what we will do is we'll make sure that these are covered as we're bringing items forward. And then I think it's helpful just at the end of these meetings or some other time, if there's things that you all want or are pressing or more information on something for the next month, then just let us know and we'll do our best to get it incorporated. But we'll kind of take this list we had from last year. We'll use this list along with our standard items and start to slot things in so we can kind of see kind of the outlook for the year, if that works. And we'll send that out to you all via email.
That sounds great. Thank you so much, Jessica. All right. So then also under miscellaneous matters, we have any updates from community members? So do we have any community members on that would like to provide any updates? If you would, you can either raise your virtual hand or unmute yourself, but it looks like it's pretty much just staff that we have on. So seeing no updates for community members, we'll go ahead and adjourn our meeting for today at 10:22. And thank you all so much for your time. Have a great week and weekend, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.